Hi, and welcome to the Strategies for Data Security PowerPoint presentation for McBride Provincial Ranch, a home life and auto company. This presentation was created by Tim Maggard, the Network Administrator and Security Manager for Provincial Ranch Insurance Agency. This report outlines digital protection measures that are designed to protect against likely cyber threats to modern small businesses. Our layered approach to defense includes user awareness training, multiple firewalls, and whitelist antivirus with a live scanning feature that monitors and blocks threats in real time. In addition to proactive data security measures, part of McBride Strategy includes implementing strict control over who has access to sensitive data. The Acceptable Use Policy is a necessary standard for Provincial Ranch Insurance Agency to govern the use of safe computer practices, and to enforce penalties when these practices are violated. This policy serves to inform employees of their responsibilities as users of the company network. If and when acceptable use policies are violated, this policy outlines the penalty to be imposed by management up to and including termination of an employee, and to outline the company's role when dealing with potential litigation by outside third parties. This does not mean to suggest that such an event will ever occur, but merely states in writing a path of action if such an event does occur. The threat assessment portion of the report is a methodology to weight likely threats against assets and potential losses, and to list mitigation strategies to reduce those losses. This assessment is based on a methodology published by the Networks Corporation on their blog. The next slide addresses the other half of this threat assessment model and corresponds to the asset list on the previous slide. It seeks to quantify business continuity losses per day and provides mitigation strategies such as cloud backup, property coverage, and other strategies such as email filtering, which are included in the written report. The purpose of the Information Security Policy is to provide a snapshot of the company IT policy, to outline best design practices of the company digital network and user responsibilities. The scope includes design of the domain architecture, access structure, and enforcement mechanisms. The security objectives are to ensure the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of customer data. Access protocols state that data can only be accessed with enterprise-level VPN. Only management will have full control over data. User responsibilities are to keep sensitive information confidential. Users will not share login information. No personal devices are allowed on the company network. And users will report to management all non-business related material on the network. Users will comply with all user awareness training to take place on an annual basis. The company and its employees will create and maintain reasonable measures to keep customer data safe, and they will inform customers of unauthorized disclosure. Customer data and system images will be backed up to an off-site cloud storage service on a weekly basis. Previous backups will be available no longer than 14 days. This is a security awareness poster designed to serve as a reminder of security best practices for employees. This poster describes the importance of verifying the source of information received anonymously via email. The risk assessment is a computational assessment based on a point system. Most valuable assets are ranked from 3 to 1, and most likely threats are ranked from 3 to 1, that scores are added using a matrix. Applicable threats are added to each asset based on the numbering system assigned. These sums are then used to create a vulnerability sum for each asset. Each asset's total reflects its vulnerability based on each asset's number rank and the number rank of each threat. Vulnerability totals are then divided to create a percentage value that represents the asset's likelihood of compromising the resources that should be spent to protect that asset. More information is included in the written report. Data classification sheets have been created to serve as an internal rating for all data belonging to McBride Insurance. Sensitive data contains personal information such as Social Security information, health information, street addresses, and phone numbers of customers and employees for products and payroll. Proprietary information is important to McBride Insurance, including information contained in the security report, data, internet logs, and training material. Public information is intended for dissemination, such as marketing materials, and is considered to be non-sensitive. Examples of data classification sheets, as shown here, will be attached to respective files on the network. The recovery point objective, or RPO, is the onset of a catastrophic incident that renders systems inoperable. The recovery time objective, or RTO, is 1 week for Martin McBride Insurance to recover physical and data assets not including third-party email. The work recovery time objective includes the recovery time objective plus testing and validation for a total of 1.5 weeks. 1.5 weeks is the maximum tolerable downtime for Martin McBride Insurance to recover from an incident. As part of the contingency plan, the steps in the incident recovery plan are to recoup physical hardware, reinstall voice over IP phones, and then validate, reconnect switch, router, and proxy firewall to server and workstations, reinstall printer, reimage systems from cloud, retrieve data from cloud, then test and validate. The responsibilities for the security manager for Martin McBride Insurance, per the job description, are to act as sole IT administrator to plan, coordinate, and execute all network and security functions within Martin McBride Insurance, to design and implement company network for Martin McBride Insurance, to organize and implement ongoing security functions within the company, including user training and awareness programs, test, validate, and implement network security patches and updates, to implement network, firewall, antivirus configuration, and email domain filtering, to configure and schedule regular image backups to third-party cloud software, to create a risk assessment, computer use policy, incident recovery plan, information security policy, and threat assessment, and to monitor internet logs to enforce company policies in conjunction with management. Protection mechanisms for the data network are implemented as part of the network architecture. This includes networks, operating systems, and network devices. The company email domain is hosted off-site by Google G Suite. Once again, personal devices are allowed for business correspondence, not including email, on the carrier network only, not on the company network. Security mechanisms for the network include a screened host firewall system with a proxy firewall. Whitelist antivirus is used for custom scanning of operating systems on a weekly basis, with a live scanning feature called Super Shield, which acts similar to an intrusion detection system. Enterprise-level NordVPN is configured to encrypt traffic on the company intranet and for remote access. Also seen here is the company remediation strategy discussed earlier in the information security policy. I will conclude this presentation by iterating why we are here today. In an increasingly digital world, threats to data security are both constant and constantly changing. As a home, life, and auto insurance provider, it is incumbent upon employees of Martin McBride Provincial Ranch to safeguard data from outside threats. Outlined in this report are proven strategies to accomplish that goal. Thank you.